start sharing the.
Yes, yes.
Okay, just a minute. Abhishek. Yeah, so myself, Abhishek, I am having total almost 13 plus years of experience in ABAP. I have worked in various ABAP HANA projects, upgrade project, then migration project, then implementation project. I have various almost 6 years of experience in ABAP HANA since I am working, and rest is in ABAP, entire ABAP. So currently I am working as a lead and a technical manager and all those things in a MNC. So what we think that we can cascade our knowledge to those people who wants to learn ABAP on HANA, the new artifacts of HANA, so that they can also leverage their skills and I mean upskill themselves and proceed in their career. So okay, so now to start with, I assume that whoever is there in this call, we know ABAP. What is ABAP? It's an R3 architecture thing. What is ABAP is a language. It's an SAP products language. So it's basically open SQL language where we write our code in SC38 and all those things. There are a couple of things like RICEF reports, interface, conversions, forms, and all those things. So these are all the basic things. Okay, but we know whenever we are going to write any code, so as I said, ABAP is a coding language of SAP. So whenever we are going to write any code, we use generally SE38 whenever we are going to write any program or report, whatever we call as. So we use SE38, the ABAP editor. But suppose for an example, when we are going to create any class, we are going to create any method, we are going to implement the method, and in that method, if we are going to write any code, that is also an ABAP editor. Okay. And also suppose I am going to create one function module. I am create the function module, but in source code, what is source code? Source code is also an editor. So everything is finally an editor where we write our codes, basically. Apart from that, whatever we are doing, that is our table creation, all those things, that is not important right this moment. So when we are writing our codes and everything, we use OpenSQL statements. Now from SAP NetWeaver 7.4 onwards, what SAP did, SAP has introduced new coding syntaxes. So there are a couple of new coding syntaxes which I mean SAP is trying to let us know that you should use this new coding syntaxes in every now and then whenever you are working in a project. So why? Because if you are practicing those things in near future, whenever you are going to work in ABAP on cloud and all those things, it will be required, and it will be helpful for you to instantly to write down your programs and all your codes and everything. So new coding syntax techniques which has been introduced for NetWeaver 7.4. This is very important. So now 7.4, 7.5, 7.55, all those things, 7.57. There are many other versions has been introduced in SAP NetWeaver. So that's a separate thing. Now, if I talk about S4 HANA, we know what is S4 HANA. It's a database. SAP has come up with their own database system, that is HANA. Okay, high performance analytical appliances, the full form of HANA. Now, what is S4? It's a suite for HANA. So I am not going into the discussion of more in the theoretical part of all those things in the demo session. So now S4 HANA, there are a couple of versions since 1609, 1709, 1809, 1909, then 2000, then 2021, then 2022, 2023. So many versions are there. Along with that, SAP is also introducing S4 HANA on cloud. So whatever I told just previously, those are all based on premise. So I guess we know what is on premise thing and on cloud. So on cloud means there will be a public cloud or a private cloud. Based on cloud, our the system will be there. But currently whatever we will do, that we will do on the on-premise system. So now S4 HANA is a database. So where SAP, I called as high performance analytical appliance. High performance means it is an expectation that the S4 HANA database system will give us performance wise high performance. It means everything is already tuned, already optimized, and on top of that, much more you can optimize your reports, your analytical reports, your everything will run in a short span of time. So that is the main motto. So that is why SAP has come up with this S4 HANA. Now ECC system, whatever we have worked till date, if I say, so those can be based on any database, Oracle database or SQL database, anything. But whenever you are now, if you wanted to move your database system into HANA, it has to be a HANA system. So now what SAP is doing, slowly SAP will stop giving support ECC systems. So each and every company has to move their system to S4 HANA by today or tomorrow at any cost. They have to move if they want to continue with their SAP product. But what is SAP? SAP is nothing but to protect their business, right? It's an ERP product, enterprise resource planning. So if I am having a company, so I am selling something, I am procuring something, I am producing something, I have employees. So everything in one box. SAP is the best ERP package till date in the market, in the entire world, what SAP can provide. So they are already is getting that age. So that is why they come up with this business concept. So now when we talk about S4 HANA, so I will in demo session I won't go far. So in S4 HANA thing, we will talk about ABAP perspective. As an ABAPer, what are the things you should know? So right now let me share my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen.
We can see your screen,
Yeah, we can
absolutely.
see.
Okay. So now, so S4 HANA can be, so as when you are working on S4 HANA, there are a couple of things which you need to think of. So suppose it can happen that your system, your client system is your client has a system. The backend is a HANA database. The backend is HANA database, but they are not actually using the HANA artifacts. It can happen. There are many clients who are doing like this. Basically, they did not migrate completely. So they just incorporate the HANA database as a backend, but they are using still those old syntaxes, old process and everything, right? So, so now you have to know that when we are working like this, so you can use easily a SAP GUI. You can log in, you can open your ABAP editor, AC38 program. You can write your code, whichever way you are comfortable. You can write your code. You can activate. You can see your report is coming. Fair enough, no issues. But whenever we talk about S4 HANA, Suite for HANA, so and it's a HANA system and we are working on HANA artifacts and everything, then so why we will work on HANA artifacts and everything? Because we should use them as much as possible, the flavor of HANA. We should get the as much as possible the flavor of HANA. Then only you can, you can say कि yes, I am working on HANA system or I am working on the HANA project. And moreover, if you are working in a HANA S4 HANA implementation project or a migration project, then there is no other word that you have to work on HANA artifacts. So now, so if you can see, so when you are going to work on HANA artifacts, for an example, I think you guys already hear about that CDS views, AMDP class methods, and all those things. Those things you need to work on only and only on Eclipse. So Eclipse is a tool which is a platform independent tool where which you can use to work on S4 HANA things. Okay. Along with that, there is one more system called SAP HANA Studio that is typically for HANA database. Now, if somebody wants to use Eclipse, that doesn't mean that Eclipse only you can use when your database is HANA. No, it's not a platform. I said it's a platform independent. So there is no dependency. If your database is Oracle also, you can use Eclipse tool. Now to work your ABAP things, ABAP related things, coding and everything, you need to install ADT. What is that? ABAP development tool. That you need to install on top of the Eclipse software. Okay. Now, if I come to this point, what it called? HANA, SAP HANA Studio. SAP HANA Studio is typically based, but I mean dependent on S4 HANA system. So if you are using SAP HANA Studio, so at that point in time, your backend database system has to be HANA database. That is why it is called at SAP HANA Studio, without which you cannot use SAP HANA Studio. There is no difference by in look and feel. If I compare Eclipse and SAP HANA, there is no such differences in look and feel. But there is a catch. SAP HANA Studio, if you are using, then your database system has to be a S4 HANA database. If you are using Eclipse, then you can use any database. There is no platform dependency. But for both of them, the main thing is you need to install ADT, ABAP Development Tool. It's kind of an ABAP editor, you can say. So in SAP GUI, you are already having that package ABAP editor. So you never thought of how this AC38 T code is working and all those things. But when you are using Eclipse, you have to install the ABAP development tool so that you can use your ABAP things over there. So what we will do in the once we will start our training, we will slowly shifting to Eclipse. We will slowly forget these SAP GUI things. I will show you what are the features of ADT. What are the features of ADT? Why people should use ADT? What are the advantages of using of ADT? I will tell you all those things to you once the training will start. So so you can see these are the course curriculum like this. So basic operation, creating, managing packages, working with projects and views, standards and perspective of Eclipse. So those things we will learn. So Eclipse, what are the shortcuts and all. There are many more things. Debugging also we need to learn how to debug. You know debugging in ABAP editor, but you need to learn how to debug in ABAP Eclipse. So as I said, we will slowly move into Eclipse. So whenever you are going to write any code, whenever you are going to write anything, you will open Eclipse. You will open the Eclipse editing. You never ever go into log into SAP GUI. That is the thing because this is the future. If you talk about ABAP on cloud, in ABAP on cloud, there is no concept of SAP GUI. Again, I am saying there is no concept of SAP GUI. So if you are working in ABAP on cloud project, so forget about T codes because there is no SAP GUI. If there is no SAP GUI, so there is no SAP, there is no T codes. So if you need to create a table, normal table, AC11, you need to actually write code for that. Okay, you need to write code for that. No AC11 that just create a table. The tool is creating the table, right? It's kind of a wizard. You write the table name, click on create data, delivery class, and all those things you selected. Then you go to the next screen, you just put the field names. Okay, you check the error, you just enhancement category, the row, store, column, all those things you're doing. Activate, your table is done. It got stored in the ABAP dictionary. But no, once you are working on ABAP on cloud, no, these features are not there. Everything you need to write it down on the ABAP editor. By writing, only your table will be created. It's kind of a have you any of you have worked on native SQL? Mahesh or
Abhishek.
Nagaraju?
No, no. Native SQL,
No.
no.
Okay. So if I talk about PLSQL developer, you might have heard there is a concept of PLSQL developer. They do like this: create table, drop table, all those things. Okay. These are known as DDL, data definition language. Anyway, so we will learn all those things. So these are the things which we need to learn and all those steps. Now, if I go ahead, ABAP and SAP HANA. So as I said, we will talk about ABAP and SAP HANA, ABAP on HANA, what are the difference traditional ABAP, why we will use, what is the benefits of ABAP developers on HANA, okay, how to optimize the codes ABAP HANA. Say for an example, you are in an ECC, you are working on an ECC project. Tomorrow, your client is moving to S4HANA 2021, let's say for an example. So what will be your role as an ABAP developer? What do you need to do? So those things we will discuss and all those things. So now, so as I said, ADT, you can see ADT features and all those things, installation, configuration, all those things we will see. And then new coding syntaxes, as I said. So we will learn all this inline declaration, table expressions, all those things. There are many more things. Okay, we will learn all those things. There are many keywords which we can use. It will be short. I mean, loop, end loop, nested if else. Many things are there, which everything we will learn. How we can avoid those things, and we can optimize the performance of the program. Okay. Now CDS view. So CDS view is nothing but a core data services, which we write the code on. So the way it has been designed, that we will write the code on application server, but it will the whatever we are writing, that will work directly on the database server. The design is been done like this. When you are writing something in OpenSQL in AC38, you are writing the code on application server. Then from application server, the command is going towards the database server. From database server, data is getting pulled. It is coming back to application server, and then let's say your ALB report is showcasing that. So from application, you are going to database. From database to again you come back to application. But once you are working on CDS views or AMDP, so directly you are working on database server. Native SQL queries you need to write. Once you are working on core data services, CDS views, that is also same. You will write on the application server, but all your work should be will happen or will occur on top of the database system. So this is the way SAP has optimized the performance of the system, so that crores of data, millions of data, you can just see in a minute or couple of seconds, right? So these are the intention. This is the intention of SAP, what they have done. So CDS view is one of those things which they have done. Now there are CDS views. There are something called how annotations in CDS view. What are the annotations we have to use? What is annotation? Why we should? There are a couple of annotations. Basic annotations. Then like what I called. Uh, field level annotations, so parameter level annotations. There are a couple of annotations which are there, which we need to learn. When we need to use what is the significance of annotations in a CDS view. So that is very important. Annotations are very important. Nobody can know nobody can know all annotations in their entire life. It is highly impossible. It is very much unlikely. So whenever you are going to work in anything, you just need to find out. You can Google it. You can there are some portals where you can go. You can search SAP portals, SAP Help portal, where you can go and you can find out which are the annotations which you need to use. So these are the things which we need to know. Okay. Then associations are there. What is association in CDS view? What is cardinality? Okay, so those things we will learn. Okay, CDS view. How many types of CDS views are there? Consumption view, basic view, composite view, projection view. When to use what? Those things also we will learn. Okay, again, as we know, we can include structure and append structure, right? So if a standard table, we need to create some fields, we create an include structure, or when we do an append structure. Same like that. If there is any standard CDS view, how we can add our required fields in that standard CDS view. So there is a process called extended CDS view. That also we can learn. So those are the things which we will learn in CDS. Now, if we call about AMDP class method, what is AMDP? AMDP is ABAP managed database procedure. So if we know, as I said, if we call about PLSQL, so there is a concept called database procedure in Oracle or in SQL, PLSQL, those things. So database procedure is something which is based on native SQL. In ABAP we use OpenSQL, but in database procedure we use native SQL. The way of writing coding is completely different. Is completely different. The way we write in ABAP editor, we write ABAP codes, it's not same like that. Okay, so that also we need to learn. When to use, when we need to use AMDP. That is a very important thing. It's not like every time we need to use AMDP. Very specific point, very specific time we need to use AMDP. I can show you a couple of scenarios where we will use AMDPs. So AMDP is something when it's a class method. Okay, we know AC24 class methods. The same thing, AMDP is nothing but a class and method, but that class method you cannot use using AC24. That only you can use or you can create in Eclipse. Okay, in the on ABAP development tool, nowhere else. So those are the things we will learn once you created an ABAP, sorry, AMDP class method that you may need to call directly in your program. Some mostly we call it in our CDS view. So how to call that in a CDS view using CDS table function. So there are certain things which we'll learn. What is CDS table function? How we will call that AMDP class method in our CDS table function, and how we will call that CDS table function in our CDS view. So those things we will learn. Okay. Now, if you see here, yeah, CDS table function, purpose and use CDS table functions, syntax and structures, writing logic in SQL script for table functions, and all those things. Okay. So these are the things we will learn. Now, this will be almost once you know about this all these stuffs which I discussed, it means almost you are now okay with like this thing, what it called S4 HANA things. So in any project of S4 HANA, you can think of what as per the requirement, what I should use. Should I use a CDS view, or should I use a select query in the program, or I will use a AMDP class method. So you will have all these scenarios on top of your mind, so that you can immediately take a decision and you can work. Okay, those things we will learn. Now, there is one more thing came with SAP, which is known as RAP, RESTful Application Programming. What is that? So for an example, we know, I assume we know Fiori. There is a concept called Fiori, front end screen. So suppose nowadays everything is on app. Everything is on app, right? So now SAP also have Fiori things and all. That is but nothing but app. No, now slowly we AC38 program, then you are creating one T code here, you're giving that T code to the user will run that T code in the production. Those days are going away actually. Those days are not there now. Everything is on app. There will be a Fiori screen. You can log into your system. You can log in through your mobile. Once you log in, your Fiori screen will open. You can see the app. Okay, purchase order creation. You will click on purchase order. Your purchase order app will open. There you can directly write your things and you can create the purchase order. Okay. Now let's say there is a custom app. Some custom app. Do you guys know module pool? Mahesh and Nagaraju?
Of course, very much.
Okay,
Traditional
Nagaraju,
Yeah.
screen display.
sorry?
No, module pool. I never worked on module pool
Okay.
program.
So Mahesh, you can relate. So module pool,
Yes,
when we
yes.
create, when we have some custom requirement that we
Yes,
need to
all business
create.
transaction codes has been built through the module pool only till now the concepts.
That is so obviously,
All
but when you create a module pool, when you need
custom requirement comes,
custom
you go
requirement,
for that.
right? So
Yes,
I mean, every screen, everything in SAP GUI, whatever you can see, everything is screen oriented.
yes,
So everything has screen, everything has PBO and PI events, everything is module pool. But when you create, you only create when you need a custom requirement, that you need to create some screens, one screen, some sub screen where you will create some create button, your sub screen will open and all those things. Now those things gone. Now everything is in Fiori. Fiori app. So there will be a screen once you log in, you will put some data. You will click on create button. So user will give some input in data as a data, click on create button, so that data whatever you have given as an input, where it will go, suppose you so you are Langaraju, you said you are working in TCS. So as you suppose you are working in so you are suppose you are going to create one leave request. There must be a tool in TCS for creating a leave request. So you must be going into that leave request tool, you are giving some input, you click on create button, and automatically your leave request got created and it triggered to your supervisor or your manager. Please approve this. Correct. So once you create that data, the data has to go somewhere. That is your front end screen. But in the back end, the data is going and getting saved. So that means there is a front end, there is a back end. From the front end, the data got flown towards back end. Back end, there must be a table where the data will get saved. Okay, your job done, you created. Now I am the supervisor. I got one intimation, okay, boss, Nagaraju has created one leave request, please approve. I will click on that. Once I will click, so I am requesting for a response from backend. Once I will click on display, what the front end will do? Front end will put a request, HTTP request. Okay, boss, I need the data. So the request will come to the backend. From the backend, the data will get fetched and it will flown towards front end. And you can see the data. I can see the data. And as per my thing, I will approve or I will reject, whatever. So this is, I think, anybody of you who knows OData, Nagaraju or Mahesh?
I'm having the basic idea of data.
Okay, Nagaraju, do you know OData?
No, no.
Okay.
I know some concepts, but create updates,
Okay.
only
So
basic stuff.
OData is
I
nothing
read.
yeah, so OData is nothing but an open data protocol which supports your CRUD operations. What is CRUD? Create, read, update, delete. So as I said, you create the leave request. So you clicked on create button. The data got created in the backend. So it's a create request. When I, as a supervisor, I said the system, okay, I want to see what request has been raised for me. I put a request. So it pull the data. It's a read request. So it pull the data and show me read. So I can see the data read. So now if I want to modify something in your while updating the request, I can modify it. I can reject it. I mean, whatever I will do, I will approve that also. That also the data can be approved. If I can reject, I can change that. I can modify the record. So while modifying record, I can modify the record. I will put on reject. I will click on save. So it's a modify. I mean, it's update. The data got updated. So it got saved again in the database table. And if somebody wants to delete, so now suppose you got intimation, okay, your leave got rejected. So you thought of, okay, I will delete this request. Again, I will create a new request. So once you delete that request, again the request will go to the backend, and the request will get deleted from the system. So this is why create, read, update, and delete. This is the operation which we can do using OData. Okay. So now OData is nothing but, again, it's an SAP GUI specific thing. You need to log in to SAP GUI. There is a T code. You need to log into the T code. You need to do the create some of the things, and many other things. So what SAP did, as slowly SAP is moving to cloud, and as I said, once you are on cloud, there is nothing called GUI. Everything has to be done on ADT, on Eclipse or HANA Studio. So what SAP has done, SAP has come up with RESTful application programming, for which you should know CDS views, you should know ADT, you should know Eclipse, you should know HANA Studio, whatever. You have to know all these things. Then only you can work on RAP. Okay. So now to work on the RAP, again, RAP is nothing but, as I said, whatever I told you right now, the basic functionality. Through RAP, we do the same functionality: create, read, update, delete. But there are certain things: managed scenario, unmanaged scenarios. Okay. Yeah, so when we will use managed scenario, when we will use unmanaged scenarios, there will be some local classes. That class we need to implement, some methods we need to implement. So there are a couple of things which we need to learn. Okay. So, and there are certain things called behavior definition. If I go down, you can see here. See, you can see here CDS view, behavior definition, service binding. So these are the things which you need to learn. When CDS view need to create, how many types of CDS view need to create, when you need to create behavior definition, when you need to get service definition, when you need to get service binding. So there are all the things which you need to learn accordingly. So these are we are going to cover in this entire course. So this is my so I can rest my case over here. If you guys have anything to ask, you can ask.
So so basically, I'm working in ECC, right? So yeah, do I need to know these? There's some concepts to come into HANA. Like, what are the concepts? So,
That is why you will learn. Those are the things you will learn in this course. No?
okay. So like this classes will be on weekends, like
Yeah,
right?
weekends. Yeah.
Like how many hours? Like 1, 2 hours or 3 hours?
2 hours max.
Okay. Yeah.
2 hours on both Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours. So how exactly is planning?
Pardon?
Like Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours, or like
Yeah,
only
yeah, yeah.
Saturday,
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday. Okay, each week 4 hours weekend,
Uh-huh.
right? Okay. So I have just a couple of questions, so just 3, 4
Yeah.
questions. Can I ask Abhishek?
Yeah, yeah,
So
please, please.
as already clearly said, so RAP programming is must to be used in the cloud applications. So there is
Yeah.
no RAP concept in the on-premises, right?
No, on-premise also you can use.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
We can use the RAP programming model in on-premises also.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Till now, I never worked on any cloud system. So,
Oh, okay.
okay, so
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't have any exposure on cloud. If you ask me anything related to cloud, I cannot answer because I never worked on any cloud system. So whatever is my experience, that is entirely on-premise. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
have the experience of RAP using RAP because I worked on on-premise system.
So on-premises, then we have both options. So we can use the GUI as well as
Yes, yes, yes.
uh,
Yes, but
uh,
what SAP is saying nowadays, if you're
mm,
working with a good client, a
mm,
very big client and level, I mean very good client and all those things, they will
mm,
told you, okay, no boss, please move into cloud,
mm, mm,
cloud related features. Don't
mm.
use anything which is not cloud related features. So
Okay.
slowly you have to, you have to incline towards cloud related features.
Okay. So this RAP is compatible for the cloud in the future if they move. They move.
Yeah, that RAP is
Then,
meant for cloud,
oh,
but you can use it in on-premise system also.
on-premises also. Okay. So just one more question. This RAP programming, all these open SQL statements, all this will remain as it is. This enhancement, so smart forms, so Adobe forms, so all this will be as it is. We write how we write in the GUI in the Eclipse editor as
Pardon?
well.
Come again? Come again?
So for example, if you take reports, we write open SQL statements, so selection screen, these
Mm.
things in the RAP programming model, like smart forms, Adobe forms. So how exactly will build? Will built on completely on the Eclipse editor, Adobe Forms,
No, no,
Smart
no.
Forms.
No, no, no. Again,
Uh,
as RAP is a different thing. There is
mm,
nothing to do Adobe Forms or Smart Forms with RAP. RAP, as I said, you have a front end screen. In the
mm,
screen, you are creating some data, and your data should come to the backend system and get stored in a table.
mm,
So for these things, your RAP.
mm,
Okay, if you know
mm.
OData, so RAP is basically the modified or newer version of OData.
Oh,
I can
in
say like
simple way.
this.
Uh-huh. But the remaining things as it is there, like Adobe Forms, or you have to develop
Yeah,
through the
whatever is there, that is it is
SAP
there because
transaction
on
code. But
premise.
SAP, you have to go to their SAP transaction code, Smart Form transaction codes, and all through Eclipse only.
No, 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 no. In
Mm,
on premise, you have the SAP GUI, right?
mm,
In on premise system, you have SAP GUI, so you can use your smartphones T code or SAP T code, everything. But in
mm.
cloud, how it will behave for your Adobe Forms and all that, I don't know. As I said, I never worked on cloud systems, so I don't know.
Uh-huh. Okay. And if it is a completely on the cloud applications, we cannot write this type of statements. I think it should be completely wrap. That I thought that everything can be done in the wrap only, the smart forms, so Adobe forms, so all these things. Okay,
No, no,
anyway,
RAP is a
got it.
different thing, and your forms and everything is different. There is
Uh-huh.
no connection with RAP